Alrighty. We should be on, are we? Excellent. So I've tried a little something to see if it can combat the lag. Turns out that Okami is very poorly optimized for the PC in that case. Which, go figure. Anyway, last time we finished up all of the unfinished business we had. And there's nothing left in Nippon to do. So now, we board the Ark of Yamato. Aw, Isun cares. I'd care more if he didn't irritate the living daylights out of me every second. You can get a better look at the markings up here. It's kind of interesting. But let's finally see the Ark of Yamato. I can't speed the text up in this cutscene. You know, it kind of ruins the touching moment when he's still an unrepentant pervert. Amy likes him for some reason. Ooh, neat! He can actually do that. That's kind of cool. The fact that this sounds like a breakup is very disconcerting to me, because gross. Not because of what they are, just because Isun is unrepentant and kind of annoying. And by kind of, I mean immensely. But she's nice enough that she actually likes the dude, so... Now, even when I first played the game, I didn't really feel anything during this, and I didn't really understand Amaterasu's feelings. Because I have never not played this game and not been annoyed or repulsed by Isun. So, this, however... Yeah, it would be... Pretty much, Maverick. It would be a much more emotional goodbye if Pi and I weren't quietly cheering in the corner. We're getting someone better. Considering Amaterasu was apparently here long enough to get sacrifices, plural, for Orochi, and he only came every 100 years, I would say probably way longer than 200 years there, Waka. No, Waka, don't taunt him! What are you doing? Interesting. Wow! Ouch! I think even Waka's as tired of him as we are! Ouch! I would love to see you actually tear anything apart that's bigger than a fig leaf. Bzz. That being said, I don't think Waka is intentionally being an asshole here. I think he's just trying to make it clear to Isun that he really can't go. He was just being a jerk to prod Isun into trying so he would know for sure. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. He was intentionally provoking Isun to make the parting a bit more clear, I suppose. Because he outright used that title for Isun, which is a title of respect. So yeah, he wasn't intentionally being a jerk, he was just provoking Isun so he would see that himself. Bye-bye! Hopefully we can swim. Yeah, apparently Waka also likes Isun, which I can see that, because he doesn't spend a lot of time with Isun, so... Ah! Hello? I forgot about that! I missed what the prophecy was just from laughing at that. Even if it was kind of like, Also, I don't think he saw it, Waka. You guys were kind of further back. So that's why he couldn't board. Because he didn't have the resolve to do what he was already, what he was meant to do, so to speak. Actually, that's a good way to put it. I never thought of that. Waka does view Isun like a very stressful child who doesn't really know much better. Which would make sense if he's well over a good few 100 years old. For the reactions here, I honestly feel like Isun was meant to be far less annoying than he was. They just kind of failed hard on that aspect. Emmy! Well, she's going in whether she likes it or not. Also, something interesting that I wanted to, that I always kind of forget. Notice that the bridge didn't vanish until Waka got there. It was almost like that thing was sensed who was there. And now... look who we have here. I love this music. She probably couldn't reach you. She probably couldn't reach him, because we actually have a limit to how far we can draw. That was way over that limit. So here's one of the Celestials who was apparently massacred when the monsters came out. So he was here since the Ark fell in what they call the Time of Myths. I feel sorry for this poor dude. So was the quality actually dropping while I was streaming? Because I asked you guys multiple times and you said it was fine. So this is basically our shop. And we can buy with either of these. So there's the last two, gold dust in the game. Actually, that's not going to be any good. I'm just going to refill on vengeance slips as far as I can. You can also buy stuff with demon fangs here, which is nice. And yeah, you can actually buy all of the upgrades here if you miss them. Oops. Wrong button. I don't know if I'm going to need 19, but I took 19. So there is an origin mirror here, and I actually will be saving because, as I said, I pretty much triple checked, and we have finished everything we could possibly finish. So since New Game Plus has you save anyway. So first of all, note this was a symbol we saw out on the ship. It's the same kind of weird handball thing, but we also have doors with these sigils over them. Okay, good. It was fine. Sorry, I'm just paranoid because YouTube keeps messing up my videos. So every time I look back on them and I see that they are hello. Every time I look back on them and I see that the actual archived one has some error, I'm worried. But yeah, pardon me. Here's another Celestial. Also, I like how they're using her full title. Even Otohime and Himiko didn't do that, so that's interesting. So it might actually be that I'm throttling the CPU that it can take. So I'm not getting anywhere near as many warnings from Broadcaster about the CPU spiking. They almost sound like servants when she puts it that way. I think it's a she. Yeah, definitely she. So apparently there was a battle on the Celestial Plane during which Amaterasu fell to the mortal realm. And apparently all these Celestials jumped onto to the Ark to get away. And this was the slaughter they mentioned. So yep, this was built by the Moon Tribe, as we thought. Interesting that they didn't know that. But apparently it's because the Celestials and the Moon Tribe are actually not the same thing. This is the first confirmation we're actually getting of that directly. So these apparently were Amaterasu's attendants in the Celestial Plane, since that's where the gods lived. So what could this possibly be? Can you guess? If you guessed refight, you're correct. That should be fine. So we now have a refight of all the major bosses. Yes, all of them. And exorcism slips actually do decent damage here. So I probably should have stocked up on those. Oh well. Who are we missing then? Oh, that's a good point. We don't refight Lechku and Nechku. You're right. I think Crimson Helm is actually in their spot. Hello again. Oh no, Hakuba. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Crimson Helm and Spider Queen are here, even though they aren't technically a part of the Dark Shadows and Lechku and Nechku were. I wonder if they just couldn't figure out how to make Lechku and Nechku work lore-wise. But, yeah. We fought Orochi 3 times. They're not from the Moon Tribe. The Celestials and the Moon Tribe are actually completely different. Hakuba just told us that. Because they didn't know what this arc was for. Which is kind of suspicious. But yeah, we're fighting Orochi again. But yeah, that's gotta be it. They must just not have figured out how to make Lechku and Nechku work either without Oki, or lore-wise with an Oki replacement, which is a little odd. The thing of spirits in this game, I might have just had Oki's spirit assist you or something. What did that not take for that one? Yeah, that's a good point. They don't justify why the sake is here, so... I honestly would have preferred another rematch with Lechku and Nechku than Orochi again. Wouldn't be so difficult if the beads would have actually locked onto the bell like they were supposed to. I'm actually curious if there's some legit reason Lechku and Nechku aren't here. Because putting Crimson Helm when he was completely unrelated to all of this is very strange to me. Now that I'm like actually thinking about this. Because he was born from Orochi's blood when you killed him the first time, right? Or when you killed him the second time 100 years later. Either way, he was born from Orochi. He was not on this ship. So why is he here? That makes no sense. That's an interesting theory. If they were the corrupt version of the guardian deities, which they did mention that the owls were guardian deities, that happened a long time ago because the Lechku and Nechku were sealed before Orochi's darkness got to them. Oh, the sake wore off. But that's actually a good point. Then maybe the darkness from Lechku and Nechku is why Orochi is here? Maybe that's what revived Orochi, since the guardian deities were no longer connected to it. I didn't think of that. I mean, I still mechanically would have much rathered a rematch with Lechku and Nechku than a third fight with Orochi and a second fight with True Orochi, but really, True Orochi's not any different. He's just slightly golder. But that at least makes logical sense, so, have redone such a recent fight than have to redo this again. I could understand if they couldn't figure out how to make Oki work. I still think they could have actually done that, but at least that's a legitimate reason. I guess I'm just kind of bitter because honestly, I just find the Orochi fight kind of boring and long. Like, it was exciting the first time. It was exciting the first time, kind of. But it's not really anymore. And I actually really liked the Lechku and Nechku fight. That was actually way more interesting. But oh well. At least for the story of the game, I'm gonna go with the idea of, it was because they were just the corrupted guardian deities and the spirits that went into the Ark revived Orochi. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, hey, another one! Honestly, whether I had to actually kill the bell or not, it was going to be boring either way. Orochi's kind of a gimmick fight, I guess. Because of the sake and everything, and it's really cool, but it's not really all that fun after the second time. It's just kind of dull. We just did rematch True Orochi. We just killed it. That was True Orochi, and the fact that you couldn't tell amuses me deeply. Actually, it was! It was exactly as gold as True Orochi was. Also, we're actually getting info on the fight here. So apparently Orochi came to pick a fight with the Celestial Plane and burned it to the ground. Yeah, thank you for proving my point about True Orochi and normal Orochi basically being identical if you couldn't actually tell between the two. But really, that really does just prove my point all the more. Because that was in fact True Orochi. And a rematch with the Spider Queen. This is another one I wouldn't have mind skipping because we've actually done this fight. This is the 5th time we'll be doing this fight. Actually. Is that the spider part that bothers me so much? Is the part, this is the 5th time we've done this fight! That's because I've done it so much, I know how to cheap it out! Like, I'm not against boss rematches. I'm not against having a boss rush at the end of the game. of the like 5 bosses here, one of them this is the 3rd fight I've been on, and this is the 5th. That's a bit much. Spoiler, Waka's from the Moon Tribe, which we already kind of figured out if you put the pieces together earlier, but this is your basic this is your last hint so much that Waka is from the Moon Tribe. So yeah, apparently Amaterasu falling to the world did not just bring the monsters down, but her not being in the Celestial Plane caused a lot more trouble. That actually explains why Orochi was able to do so much, why Orochi and the monsters were able to do so many problematic things, even before Amaterasu's death. So next is the Crimson Helm refight. Actually, probably should have stocked up on exorcism slips for this one. But I am going to spend what money I've gotten on the exorcism slips for the Ninetales fight. Because I fully intend to cheap it out like I did last time. Oh, Amaterasu wasn't quite on the ground. Do you guys want to actually see me do the Ninetales fight the way I'm supposed to do it? It's up to you. I will either cheap it out with exorcism slips or do it the way you're supposed to do it. Oh, I'm right on it. I don't mind showing it, I'm just worried it'd be boring for you, because it'll make the fight a lot longer. That's why I'm asking you if you want to see it. Okay, I'm gonna stock up on these just in case I get into a really bad, spot. Those are kind of my emergency button in general. And the last one. So these people have been trapped in here since the Ark fell in the time of myths. I feel bad for these poor spirits. They held on as long as they could to meet Amaterasu again. Interesting. So the reason Amaterasu hung around the village without going after Orochi was because of this chosen one? So this is kind of contradicting the fact that time is supposed to pass after each boss, but I don't really understand how the timeline of the game itself works. Just that time has to be able to pass for any of this to make any sense. Also, I just realized Ninetales had a feminine appearance in that smoke, I think. So this is why all of them showed up, is because Orochi's essence empowered them. But they were imprisoned here. They just didn't have the strength to do anything until Orochi's darkness fused with them, apparently. Which is interesting. So they were not actually born from Orochi. They were just empowered because his darkness split after we killed him. And then they returned to the Ark. Alright, so trying to show this fight how you're supposed to do it. This, by the way, is why I usually use the exorcism slips, because the ones that aren't solid will gang up on you in Foxfire form, and the ones that are will gang up on you normally. And if you don't kill them fast enough, they go blue, which turns them invincible, and rejoin with the final Fox Spirit, which is Evil Rao, I believe, and reform into Ninetales. See if I can get a good look at her. Yeah, that's pretty sure that's Evil Rao there in the center. This is why I cheat this out with exorcism slips, by the way. This fight is hard without it, purely because of how many there are. And because they keep reforming with Ninetales' base form. Oof. And here's the final attack Ninetales can do. I believe you actually saw this in the picture that was hard to tell. Okay. I did want to at least show it off. So now I am going to gather up these. And use the exorcism slips again. Yes, the ones you've damaged stay damaged, in case you're curious. The game's not that unfair. One other thing I want to show off that I mentioned. Ninetales uses your own stuff against you. Let's see if I can get him to do something else. No. Here's one. It's also something I find really interesting. I don't know what all he can do, though. Ah, it's an old fox lady! I never noticed that one! Did you see that? And now it's just me and Ninetales himself. And a final shock brings him down. That's one thing I kind of noticed. The difficulty doesn't necessarily come from the enemy's attacks so much, is if you're getting swarmed. That's why Ninetales is one of the hardest fights. That's actually why the Devil Gates are so hard. It's not because the enemies on their own are that difficult, it's because you're getting swarmed with them. Which is interesting to me. And now that we've purged all the evil, the ark's much prettier. And Azumi is here to warn us of something. Uh-oh. Oh, so the only one I missed was Cherry Bomb? Okay. Cherry Bomb, Gale Storm, and Ice Storm is what Ninetales can use. What's weird? Also, sorry I missed your hello. Hello! I was kind of focused on the fights. So it sounds like Waka actually tried to fight Orochi with us. Interesting. And that hand is now available. Yeah, they kind of are. Ninetales is hard, but kind of fun. And Marco is leaving now as well. Because this is the final boss fight, and you can't shop after this. Man, these Celestials sure are dedicated to Amaterasu, aren't they? Oh god, that's so cute, and I can totally see it. Amaterasu would totally play with all these guys. And so that's all of the celestial spirits that held on, now gone. There's only one person left in this arc with us. I'm a little teary myself, but I'm also very apprehensive because I know what's coming up. And Pillow Talk is gone. Yeah, we kind of had to detour a bit. Also, he's very beaten up, so, Is Ganon kind of cruddy in Breath of the Wild? I've never gotten that far before. I'm kind of still stuck on the desert thing. Mechanical beast thingy. So are you ready to see Yami? Because I don't think you could even remotely prepare for what Yami actually is. Dark Beast Ganon is terrible. Oh, it's called Calamity Ganon. Oh wait, that thing! That thing we forgot about. I'm sure fighting the Lord of Darkness on the Day of Darkness as the Sun Goddess won't be any problem, right? Right? Uh-oh. No, it will not! Because guess what? He's just stolen all our brush techniques. And those constellations that were the brush gods supporting us are now gone. We're nothing more than a normal wolf. Well, we got Waka, right? Surely he can help us. Oh wait, he got his ass kicked earlier. So yeah, Yami's a thing. Meet the Lord of Darkness, everybody. It's a baby orca. Yep. And Waka's protecting Amaterasu with his very life. Unfortunately, yeah. And here is supposed to be the reveal that Waka's part of the Moon Tribe. And unfortunately, I hate having to do this, but an emergency just came up and I have to step away really briefly. So, I'll leave it here on Waka's, thing until I come back, and I am very sorry, but I will try to be quick. Okay, I am back. I am so sorry about that. Unfortunately, it needed my attention right away, so, let's move on. So apparently, Amaterasu got that prophecy from Waka, and she waited for him and the Chosen One without even remotely questioning it. Yep. Amaterasu adored Waka so much, and she trusted him implicit. I can't say the word. She trusted him totally and completely. Implicitly, thank you. Implicitly. I don't know why that word just became so hard for me. Waka? Please tell me you don't plan to take that right to the— oh god! And down he goes. Welp! Amaterasu is mad! So yeah, we are a completely normal wolf right now. We can't even, speed up. We can kinda smack Yami, though. And no, we can't double jump either. This, by the way, is what would happen if you lost all of your ink. But by beating him up a bit... we force out the rejuvenation power. We're gonna need it. You wanna try to rejuvenate... oh, you can't until it breaks fully. I'm actually gonna put the Godhead back on. Oh, right. Something I forgot to do way earlier, which I actually need to do right now. Because the gold dust stays, but the gold dusting of weapons stays, but the gold dust itself I do not believe does. You beat up our friend and we are mad at you. And we recover yet another one. This time... Power Slash! Which we immediately put to use. Now we have Power Slash. We can turn these rockets back at Yami himself. Like so. And by doing that, we get yet another one. Which is Green Sprout. Oops. And by... if I can draw the circle, dang! By blooming Yami, we force him to open up and reveal what he really is. And that is Form 1 down. Welcome to Form 2. He's on fire, and there's not a lot we can do about that. Also, the dodging is very finicky. Because he does in fact home in on you. That should be the water sprout technique. Cherry bomb? Also, you might notice that if you look up in the sky as we're gaining our brush powers, the constellations are coming back. And yeah, it just dumps you when Yami is reforming. That might be water spout. I can't read kanji. And I didn't memorize what symbol was what. Yes! There's water spout. And Yami is way up here this time. Oh, it can crush you, but it doesn't actually crush you. It just knocks off some of your health. What is this? Crescent. Here's Form 3. It's a slots game. Also, no, Yami is actually a little weaker than Ninetales, and that he won't counter your brush strokes, I don't think. I have no idea what this is based off of! I don't know what a baby orca and a weird digital ball is supposed to be based off of. Ow! Also, what did I just get back? I think it was Galestrom, wasn't it? Yes. I also like that apparently shocks him. Yami is not like an actual creature. I don't even really think it's a concept in mythology. Whoa! Actually, can't I just... I could be wrong, though. All I can think of that's close is Yomi, which is the underworld. Health! Ice, which would be... Yep. Oops. Game, come on. Also, yeah, if you get the Yami one, the little one pops up at the top, you can power slash it. Dumps out a bunch of ink, which we don't need. Because we have the golden ink pot. Also, I have a ton of Inkfinity stones. This one is a little bit tougher because I don't really know the trick to the slots here. I just slash and hope I get it. I know the fact that Amaterasu is a wolf is actually a pun. Okami refers to a god, but it also can refer to a dog, or a wolf, depending on how you write it. I don't have time slow. I do now! Remember, every single brush technique got taken. Oh hey, because he still moves in the Divine Brush menu, I can actually just hold it there when I do Veil of Mist. And here's what happens when you get it when you finally get Veil of Mist back. Yami gets thrown out. Well, you can see it keeps smacking the... I think I'll change the reflector there, because it keeps smacking the actual, Huh? There was a ghost there. That ghost looked familiar. Didn't that look like the dude from the, Did that look like Princess, Fuse's husband? And that form is down. Yeah, he was the dude who, no, I mean Princess Fuse. When we first did the Gale Shrine, he was the dude who called Amaterasu a lovely maiden, because he could see their true form, he said. Alright, I don't have that tech back yet. I don't know what this form is. I am very confused. Apparently we're going to need Kabegame as well, but I don't have either of those back yet. So all I can do is just power slash and try to nick him. Ow. Yami has, I believe, 6. Now I have Catwalk back. Not what I meant to do, but camera! Camera! Oh my god, I hate fixed camera angles. Oh, I guess these just give you items, in case you needed them. And we don't have that tech yet. I keep forgetting Yami stole our stuff. Which is kind of funny, because I didn't forget when it came to the, slots. And next is either Ice Storm or Thunder. I don't remember what they're called. Thunderstorm. They're all Element Storm, I guess. And yes, you have to be quick. Oh. This should be Ice Storm. They might be going in order, you're right. Yeah, it is just called Blizzard. That didn't seem to do anything. I'm not sure what the point of Blizzard is. Got camera! I did. That didn't seem to do anything helpful. Yeah, okay, the camera's issues show up a little bit in Yami as well. But it could just be me and my hatred of fixed camera angles. Oh, good lord. Also, yes, Yami can in fact close up while you're in the Celestial Brush, so you have to keep that in mind as well. Actually, I wonder. Got him! Honestly, despite my complaining, I actually think the camera in this game is fairly good. I've seen much, much worse cameras, and I only have a problem with it occasionally, not the entire game. Oh, hey! Oh, Amy's sad. Yeah, we're not done yet. Remember, this is the day of darkness. And here's what you saw on the Ark. The constellations got destroyed this time. They didn't vanish, they were destroyed. The first time they did disappear, this time he actually shattered them. Which means he doesn't have them, he destroyed the brush gods is the implication, I think. We can't get them back. Because he even destroyed Amaterasu's sunrise. So we're kind of screwed. Except... Interesting. So he knows we are a god now as well. Interesting. How are they figuring it out now? Yep, it is soon. Sorry, I always get broken up by the song. The scene, too. Wait until we see the picture. Because we will see it. I doubt that. Look at that. Also, admittedly, part of my crying is because I know what the lyrics to the song are, so, that's kind of a bonus playthrough thing. So yeah, Issun is running all over, throwing the paintings of Amaterasu to everyone who will look. Even the guards are praying. Even Susano. Everyone we've met in the game is praying now. Every single person. So what happens when you think every person in the mortal realm starts praying for a god? One by one, the brush gods are revived. But it's more than just that. Amaterasu is fully powered up once more. She has finally regained her true form. And Yami's got nothing on us! So maybe I remember how to do this. There's a portal here. Oh, that's a Kamigame statue. Whoops. It's actually really hard to see because it's dark. So let's see. Now it's not. You know what? Just because it's appropriate, we're gonna do this the real way. And yes, look at our tail. I don't quite remember how to counter some of these. I believe. Yes! As you can see, Yami will protect itself if you try to pull the Celestial Brush up. And Yami is down! That's a lot of kanji that I can't read. But it looked like he just kind of imploded in on himself. You can see what I mean by those white tendrils being way too distracting. Is it? It's the same volume I usually do. I might have just gotten louder because I was excited. Look who it is! And she's slobbering all over his face. So this is apparently the Ark's control console. Also, I think this thing needs a redesign. I'm pretty sure we need to start wiping all these monster sigils off of it if we're going to be using this thing. Then again, maybe it's a badge of pride, like a trophy, because we killed that. So, Issun is going to try to find his own way to the Celestial Plane. Or that too. Ah! This is probably the one time I ever actually like Issun. Just the whole ending sequence has him really interesting. What do you got there, Waka? He got a Guardian sapling from Sakuya! Did you see that? And there's the Celestial Plane. Looks like it recovered nicely from Orochi's attack. From what little we can see, anyway. So these credits are going to be long. And the part of the credits I actually like doesn't start until quite a bit of ways in. So, to give you a brief timeline of this game as I understand it, a long time ago, something happened on the moon. It was a catastrophe that pretty much wiped out the Moon Tribe as a whole, with two exceptions. The first exception was Kaguya, who was on a ship as a baby, and so she dodged it entirely. The second exception was Waka, who took the Arc of Yamato and fled to the Celestial Plane. Now, he lived on the Celestial Plane with Amaterasu and the Celestials for some time. We don't quite know how long, but it was long enough that they all got used to him and he was made to feel welcome. At that point, Orochi appeared across the stars and attacked the Celestial Plane, at which point Amaterasu and Waka engaged him. However, they couldn't defeat him, so Waka gave Amaterasu the prophecy that only the Chosen One would be able to. Amaterasu dragged Orochi down to the mortal realm with her, while the Celestials and Waka got onto the Ark to flee down there themselves. Partly to avoid the destruction, I believe, and partly to reclaim Amaterasu. The problem was, the Ark, unknown to Waka, was full of demons, and so it slaughtered the Celestials. Waka himself escaped for a second time, being the sole survivor for a second time as well, and hid on the mortal realm. Amaterasu, that was the Age of Myths. Amaterasu waited for God knows how long, no pun intended, until Nagi was born, 100 years before the game, and they joined together to kill Orochi. However, Amaterasu went forward in time to assist Oki and her later revived self with Lechku and Nechku, which means that when she engaged Orochi, she died. At that point, Sakuya revived her 100 years later, which is when the game starts. That is about how I understand the actual timeline, though the years before Nagi are very blurry, because they seem contradictory at times, especially with Kaguya's age, though I assume the rocket ship put her in stasis. So yeah. That is why Amaterasu and Waka are so close, because he stayed on the Celestial Plane for a time. And that's one reason she trusts him so implicitly. Word! Still cannot word. Is it not starting the music I like? Also, there's a little Lika fighting with Oki and Semical, which is kind of nice. And there's the baby that Otohime talked about. What do you mean? Do I have a co-op game? Is that what you were asking? Okay, well, if the credits does play the ending song I like, which I really hope it did and they didn't take it out, when that comes up, I will actually mute my mic and turn the volume up so you can hear it. Because it is a beautiful song. That's the song that was playing while Isun was scattering the pictures. Which is what made me cry. Yeah, I have co-op games. It's not gonna play it. It replaced the ending song? What the heck? That's awful and horrible. Because the ending song was like the best thing about those endings. Those songs were just kind of boring. So yeah, that narrator, that was Isun. The implication is he's actually telling this to some new Poncals, I believe. Or to you, the player, it's hard to tell. So yeah, Isun also was the one who painted the whole bestiary. Also, this is the justification for New Game Plus. Also, this is actually jerking a bit on my end as well. But I remember it always jerking, even on the console versions here, so... Rest. Yeah, I have co-op games. Why do you ask? I'm mad at you for taking out the ending song. It was like the best song in the game. I believe it's called Reset. I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. And of course it's dead silent here, and I'm pressing buttons and nothing is happening. Oh, I can't skip it. Whoops. So yeah, you actually get money for the Yami fight, which is why I believe money carries over, and you get this! So here's the total results screen. So here's where the cherry blossoms are. Well, I got well over double what I needed. So the total results screen are your deaths. You need to have 4 or less. Enemies defeated, you need to have 550 or more, which I cleared. Money gained, you need 4 million or more, which I got over double of, so I don't know why I was so concerned. Demon Fangs, you need 350 or more, which... And Praise, you need 4,500 or more, also which... is a thing. So, you notice those weird little icons? We'll get to those in a minute. So I got the achievement Barking Up the Cherry Tree from Imps to Demons. And I should be getting the last one for the stray beads. Yep. Leave no chest unopened. And top dog for getting all the achievements. So yep, Karmic Transformer 1, Karmic Transformer 2, Karmic Returner, the final stray bead, the thing called the string of beads, Karmic Transformer 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the Secret Theater. So those first 3 Transformers you get for finishing the game in general. Of course, the final stray bead is also what you get for finishing the game in general. The other Transformers you get for getting Cherry Blossom rank, and I think the Secret Theater is also finish the game in general. I don't know why it's recommended. Because if you save beyond the point of no return, you can't go back. That said, I am actually going to be leaving that one. I will never save over that one because I have everything from that one. So I can just play straight from it. So it dumps you back to the title screen. But we're going to take a quick look at presents from Issun first. And you can see you can get concept art, or you can get high resolution from the bestiary entries. You can listen to the music. Let's see if I can find... No? It's not even in the music section, I don't think. Wow. And you can see company presentations, which are neat. And here, this is actually a scroll to let you see a bunch of stuff. And a dude talking in a language I don't understand. But yeah, that's all the high resolution stuff. So that's what you get from Issun. So we're going to take a very brief look at New Game Plus. Now, as far as I'm aware, the cutscenes do not actually change. The story is completely the same. There's no new areas you can unlock. There are a couple of changes you can do, however. So I'm just going to skip through all of the cutscenes since we know these. So you start off here. And here's where I wanted to go. So first and foremost, you don't keep the final 3, you don't keep the final of each of the equipment. But you notice how I did say these all stayed gold dusted. So once you actually get the final final equipment pieces, those will also stay gold dusted. Here's what you get for the string of beads, which I mistakenly thought was a rosary. It increases your attack power by 10, and you become totally immortal. You cannot drain your solar energy, you cannot drain your ink pot. That is your reward for finding all of the stuff in the game. Complete immortality. Also, you notice I didn't keep my demon fangs, but I did keep the solar shard upgraded in health. Or actually, no, sorry. I kept the praise upgrades. The 5 I'm missing are from the solar shards, which become uncollected. But here's the stuff we earned. The Karmic Transformer. So, even though it says 1, these are actually limitless. So by using them, we actually change Amaterasu's appearance. This one is a Shiba. This one is... I'm not sure what this breed is. But it's a big old furry one, which is really cute. This lets you be Amaterasu's inkless, powerless form. This is a... No idea what this is. But it's big and burly looking, and I kind of like it. Though it has a teeny, weeny little tail. So does this one. I don't think it's a Doberman, but it might be. This one has a much longer tail. This reminds me of those dogs that wear kegs around their necks in media. This is full power Shiranui form, just without the really annoying wispies, which is really nice. This is a Jade statue form, which is interesting. This is the form she was in. Well, sorry, this is stone form. This was the form she was in at the start of the game when she was dead, I believe. Oops. And the final one is actually kind of creepy. It's a realistic 3D render kind of thing, and it is very freaky looking when compared to everything else. It kind of makes my eyes hurt. It clashes so much. Ah, okay. So this is Canine Warrior Jin, Canine Warrior Chi, or sorry, Plain Amaterasu. This is, these three are apparently the Canine Warriors. Of course, this is a full power statue and then render. But yeah, this is what you get for getting the Cherry Blossom ranks, is you get a bunch of different appearances. And of course, the comic returner just turns her back to normal. I don't believe they affect the brush at all, even the short-tailed ones, because you need the brush to work. But yeah, so that's what you get. For completing the game, you become immortal, and you get a bunch of appearance changers for completing the game 100%. Is Chi? It's a Japanese Spitz. Oh, cute. Oh, it's so cute! Yeah. Alright, so that is the reward for doing everything in the game. I honestly think it's worth it, even if you can only you really use the rewards on a New Game Plus, but if you're trying to play through for just like the story, or you want to capture certain things, it's nice to have different appearances. Especially because I believe they show up in all of the non-pre-rendered cutscenes like the weapons do. Yeah, that is it. That is everything in Okami. I will be doing a bonus video showing off all the logs and everything. But beyond that, there's nothing left to do. I really hope you enjoyed this. This is still one of my favorite games of all time. Even with a couple of the problems the game has, but what game doesn't have problems? This is one of my favorite games of all time. And if it looked even remotely interesting, yeah, you should play it. But that is all, so I will see you next time for whatever I will be doing then.